Hi, and welcome to the Wine Bar, where I bring you bar-inspired workouts using wine bottles as weights, as well as fun facts about wine. Today, we're going to be doing a lower body and core-focused workout using Merlot. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to do our warm-up, and we're going to do a big stretch overhead, and we're going to come down into a little squat. We're raising our arms overhead, coming down into an easy squat. I have my feet right below my hips, and we're just trying to warm everything up, get the juices flowing. And 3, 2, and 1. All right, now we're going to come into side lunges. So we're just going to go easy to one side, then the other. So I'm keeping all of my weight in the heel of my foot. And we're just going back and forth. We're just getting a nice bend in the lateral movement of our legs. Coming to the side. Just a couple more. We're still keeping our weight in the heels. Last 2. And 1. All right, now we're going to come into more suitcase squats. So we're going to come down and then up. I like to pretend I'm actually picking up suitcases. Down and up, down, up. We really want to get those hips going. And as we come down, and then we squeeze our glutes coming all the way up. 3, 2, and 1. All right, so now we're going to come into some back lunges. So I'm going to come to my booty kicker. I'm going to come down into a nice low lunge. Come back up, alternate. Nice low lunge. Now we're getting the quads and the calves and the hamstrings and all those good things going on. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so I'm going to pick up my weights. Today I'm using Merlot bottles, and I'm going to start by doing some curtsy lunges with bicep curls. So I have my feet directly below my hips. I'm going to come down into a curtsy with a bicep curl. And then I'm going to just switch legs each time I come up. And I'm keeping all of my weight directly over my back leg. So today I'm using Merlot bottles. And I know Merlot is a really misunderstood grape due to the movie Sideways, where the main character, if you haven't seen it, says one line in the movie where he says, "I'm not drinking any Merlot." And with that one line of the movie, it killed Merlot sales for the better part of a decade. Now, we're just keep going back and forth. So, bicep curl. And unfortunately, Merlot can actually make some really delicious, great wine, as well as really bad wine. Again, it always depends on the producer and where it's made. So, some of the best wines in the world, we're going to go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to stay on one side, and we're going to just pulse down. So we're keeping our weight in the middle of our hips, and we're just pulsing down. So going back to Merlot, Bordeaux is a very well-known region in France that makes mostly blended wine, and some of the best wines coming out of Bordeaux are made with Merlot. And in the movie Sideways, one of the funny jokes that no one gets unless you're in the wine world is at the end of the movie, he's drinking this bottle of wine he's been saving for a really, really long time. And he opens it and starts drinking at McDonald's. And the funny part is, it's a wine that's based in Merlot. So, as we can tell, there can be really good wines made out of it. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, other side. So I'm just using the wine bottles as little counterweights here, but we're just pulsing everything out, right? And getting all those quad muscles and hamstrings. Everything is really Whew, getting a little tiring here. So now for California wine, which is probably where most people think of Merlot, you can have producers that just kind of use it as a very easy kind of fruity grape. And then you can also have people that use serious Merlot with their wine. All right, now, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, give those legs a little shake out. Okay, so now I'm going to come into side lunges with tricep extension. So I'm going to have my weights in my hand. I'm going to come and bring the weights out, whoops, in the back. I'm going to actually move over a little bit. So we're keeping the weight in our heel again, and then we're just bringing the weight up to give those triceps a little workout. So one of the wines that I actually work with, one of the wineries, when we were first tasting their wines, we had to taste through the whole lineup, and they do Chardonnay and Cabernet and Merlot and Syrah. And I tried all the wines and I said, okay, this feels like a really good winery. I'm happy with what I tasted. And then I went back to the wine the next day because I still had some left in the bottle, and the Merlot was outstanding. So sometimes it just needs a little air, sometimes it just needs a little attention, sometimes you just need the right food. But that was one of those eye-opening experiences where I didn't know what to expect, and then it really was delightful. All right, and 3, 2, and 1. All right, so let's put those wine bottles down. All right, so now we're going to be going into elevate. So we're going to come to the little bar. Like I always say, you don't need a special little bar, although I do love this one. You can use the back of a chair or a couch or whatever you can hold on to. So we're going to come with our heels together and toes apart. We're going to raise up onto our toes. We're going to come down into the little V shape. So elevate, and we're going to just pulse, right? So we're getting the top of the quads. We're making sure that our back is nice and straight. Our butt is tucked in, and all of our weight is directly in line from our butt to our heels. And so we're just doing lots of pulses, thinking about Merlot and what delicious meals we can make and pair with Merlot now that we know that it's not a wine to be afraid of or look down upon, right? I always think it goes really well with cream sauces because it will cut the creaminess of the sauce. It's not a grape that has really high tannins or really high acidity, so it's kind of a little bit more neutral. It can be on the fruity side, but is an easy drinking grape. So unless it's something that is made in Bordeaux and is meant to be aged for 10, 15, 20 years, the wine usually is made to be drank within 5 years. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're going to come all the way down halfway, and then we're going to raise all the way back up straight. All the way down, all the way up. Kind of give those little pulse muscles a little rest here. So we're coming down. We're making sure that our abs are nice and tight. Again, our back is straight and our pelvis is tucked under. We don't want anything sticking out. All right. And we're coming down and up, down and up, abs in. I always forget. And then I say, oh, gotta remind everyone about the abs, because this is really a full body move, even if it feels like it's just the lower legs. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna stay down with our pelvis tucked, and we're gonna just knock our knees back, like you're trying to hit a door with the back of your knees, right? So we're just keeping them knocking back, using our little support. You can also do this without support if you want to really test your balance, but I find I usually need something to balance with. Abs are in, back is straight, right? So we're knocking back. Whew. All right, we're almost done with this one, and then we're going to give our quads a little break. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, come out of that, give ourselves a little bit of a shakesy, and we're gonna come into that moss. So we're gonna be working the glutes. So we're coming down into a little forward fold over, and I'm going to tendu my right leg back. So stretching it back, and then I'm gonna bring it up and down. Keeping your hips facing down. You don't want them out. That's not the muscles we're trying to work, right? We're just hitting up and back. And we're keeping our back nice and straight, and we're keeping our leg nice and straight. The standing leg is bent slightly so that we're not locking the knee out, and the abs are in tight, as they should always be. All right, 8 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, I'm gonna come up, give a little tiny shake out, and then we're gonna come down and do the other side. So we're tenduing the left leg back. Right leg is slightly bent, and we bring it up and down, up and down. Now again, you can always do this not lifting the leg up as high if that feels better for you today. And we also want to just make sure everything is in a nice straight line as best we can go, right? And we don't want to lock out our leg. And we want to just raising and lowering, and hoping that this is strengthening our glutes and the lower part of our back. We don't want to have any back stress. So if that does happen, just come back into a little bit more up position and don't bring your leg up as high. All right, so, and now, just a few more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good job everyone. Let's come down to the floor. So we're gonna come down into an all fours position, and we're gonna do what is called a bird dog. So we're gonna take the opposite arm and the opposite leg, and we're gonna hold our abs in tight, and we're gonna extend everything out, and then we're gonna pull everything in to work our core. So out and in. Now I believe this is called a bird dog because you look like you're in the position of a dog that is hunting birds, like if you were in a court of kings, you know, in the 1800s, and they go hunting, they have the dogs that have the smell of the birds and they go after them. But I always thought that was kind of a funny name for this position, since it doesn't even feel like birds or dogs in this. All right, so 8 seconds. 7, 6. Make sure we're coming all the way out and coming all the way in, and keeping those abs nice and tight. This is going to be a little rough on our shoulders. And 3, 2, 1. All right, give a little shake out, and then we're going to come with our left arm out and our right leg up. We're going to do the same thing. So coming back into that bird dog. This is a really good core and glute strengthening exercise. If it's tough on your wrist, you can use a weight, and you can kind of grip the weight so it's like this, and so that you don't have all of that pressure on your wrist. I used to have I don't even know what you call it, in my left wrist, and it really hurt every time I put pressure on it. And I went to the doctor, and they had to extract a small bubble of fluid that had been built up in my wrist for quite a number of years. All right, so make sure we have our abs in tight. And 3, 2, 1. All right, so we are going to be doing now, back to the right leg, we're going to be doing some rainbow legs. So we're making a big rainbow shape with our leg back and forth across, but we're making sure that we keep our core nice and tight and engaged, and we're not moving our hips around. We want to really stay with our abs in tight, and we're working our glutes and our obliques and our core and everything about all those muscles that we use every single minute of the day that we don't even think about. Right? So, and we got about 10 seconds. Right, and we are rainbowing. I like to think of a rainbow rather than like a McDonald's M, because I feel like the rainbow is a little more extended rather than up and down. 2, 1. All right, give a tiny little child's pose to stretch out our glutes, and then we're going to come to the other side. So we're coming out and around, up that rainbow and down on the other side. Are we looking for leprechaun's gold? I don't know. Does the leprechaun leave us wine at the end of the rainbow? That's what I would always like. You would think leprechauns, who are so known as for a holiday where drinking is involved, that they would have some kind of spirit at the end of the rainbow, maybe not just gold. Although I guess the leprechaun is looking for the gold, not for the alcohol, which I always thought was funny. All right, 10 seconds. We're almost done with this move. We're keeping our abs in tight, and we're not really moving our hips. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, one more little child's pose, and we got one move left. So we're going to come back to the right side. So we're gonna do a fire hydrant up and then down. So lift your leg up. We're keeping all of the weight evenly distributed between our hands and the knee that's on the floor. All right, and we're really working our obliques and our glutes still, all those good things. All right, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, and now other side. So left and up and down. Bringing everything nice and tight. Keep those abs in. Make sure that your shoulders are directly over your wrists. You don't want to put any undue pressure on them. 3, 2, 1. All right, good job, guys. We're going to come down into a little child's pose, giving just our back a stretch and back of our legs. Right. Now I'm going to come up into I'm going to use my little bar, and I'm going to come into a lunge, a low lunge, like a runner stretch. So we're stretching out the hips. It feels really good to me right now. And then I'm going to come back and stretch out my hamstrings. So we're doing a little under the legs and over the legs stretching. All right, so now we come back up. I'm gonna go into that low lunge, that runner stretch. I have a really tight hip on my right side, and since a teenager, I've been trying to stretch it out and get it to not feel weird sometimes when I do certain Pilates moves, and it's never really gotten better, guys. Although I do stretch it every day. All right, so now we're coming into our hamstring stretch. All right, so we're almost in like a little half split. Please only come down to what is comfortable for you. If you don't want to come down more than just this much, you do you. All right, so now we're going to come to our feet. We're going to bring our hands up and back down. We're going to come full, stretch up, and then bend forward. We're going to do a nice little forward fold, kind of shake our hips back and forth. I'm pedaling out my knees a little bit. And we're going to come back up. We're going to do a quick tricep stretch so that we just get those quick arms that we did today. I know we didn't do a full arm focused workout, but I do feel like we got some good toning in. Other side, we're going to just kind of give those triceps a nice stretch out, and we're going to bring the arms all the way up. We're going to come down into a prayer. I just want to thank you as always for joining me for this bar and wine workout. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you next time.